Good morning. My name is Karen Kong, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And welcome to my This or That Thursday. If you're joining me for the first time, please say hi and join me on the chat. Ask questions, comment, keep me company because it's more fun to craft together. And I'm no good at talking to myself. So really, join in the chatter, and if you're watching on replay, I would still love it if you say hi and tell me where you're watching from. So today we are making a fun fold. This is a fold that I've seen a few times in various formats by other demonstrators, and I wanted to give it a try myself. So it uses the Everyday Arches dies, and I pulled out the Dainty Flowers DSP, which was hugely popular, I don't know, last year? The year before? I can't remember. Anyways, it was hugely popular before, and I pulled it out again and used it for this card. So I'm just going to get my computer set up so I can see your comments when we're crafting live. So just give me a second, and then I'll switch over to my desktop. All right, so my computer's set up, and let's switch over to the desktop. Just close your eyes while I mount my phone. Okay, here we go. Just bring it into view. Here we go. Okay, so good morning, Sandra. How are you? Thanks for joining in. I have been changing up my format, so I've only been showing sneak peeks of what cards I'm making, just to make it more fun. I think it makes it a little bit more fun. Let me just adjust this camera. I feel like it's not on the right angle here. There we go. I'll have to see if that looks level. Anyways, okay, I think that's okay. So yeah, I've been showing sneak peeks instead. So I did get carried away making more of those birthday fancy kit cards. And by the time I finished making them, I ran out of time to make 2 brand new cards. So I will just give you another quick sneak peek before I post them later this week or in the coming days. So here we go. Just a sneak peek, and I will post those as well and share them so you are inspired. But I did combine it with, what is it? I'm looking through the DSP set that I combined. Wildflower Birthday. That was the other one that I thought of combining it with. So you will see a combination of those in the coming days. So in the meantime, we'll continue with this card, which I thought was lots of fun to make. And it looks great. I love it. I will have to experiment with it more with some other DSP, but I feel like the DSPs where you have half of it, half of the sheet where the pattern is coming up to the middle, works really well for this one. So that's what I did for this, and I saved you some time. I'm a little bit late this morning because I was busy fussy cutting, and so I saved you the time of having to watch me painfully fussy cut this piece, because this is a really detailed piece from the paper. And if you remember, I'll show you the paper. Where did I put it? They have a sheet of ovals and then I don't know, not a trellis of flowers, but you know what I mean. And I cut my last sheet of it, the first. So this is the one I'm talking about. Okay, so I cut this out and I fussy cut this out. All right. So yes, it is fussy cutting. You don't have to do it. I mean, you can change the design of the card if you like. I just felt like it was a good way to continue the floral pattern into the middle piece. So I'm just going to pull out this sheet, which I'm going to need, which is a more of a generic watercolor pattern. Okay. And let's get started. So these are just everyday arches joined together. Okay, so I took the largest die and the second largest die to cut these pieces. Okay, so I already went ahead. Let me put this aside. And I already pre-cut all the arches of the cardstock. So I have 5 of the old olive. I'm pretty sure I have 5. Yeah, 5. 5 of the old olive and 1 white for the back, because I felt like I didn't want to add anything else here. I didn't want the writing to be here, or the greeting. I just wanted that to sit on its own, the sentiment, and leave space on the back to do all the writing. So that's what I did. And I cut the DSP with the arch die. Okay, so let's put this aside. And I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine, and we will cut. Actually, you know what? Before I bring in the cut and emboss machine, because I have to cut these out with the arches, I am going to cut this piece because this is the only one I haven't pre-cut for this. All right, so I'm going to cut this 4 1/4 inches wide. Or let's see, actually 4 inches I think would be exactly the width of the second arch, which is what I used for the DSP cutting. Oh, okay, so this is less than 4 inches. So 4 inches wide would be plenty. And I'm just going to double check. This is... I'm going to need 5 inches, about there. Okay, so yes, Sandra, I know, but I really feel like, you know, the fussy cut piece here, it has to be fussy cut for it to look good on this. I don't know. But I mean, to each their own. If you wish to use a different sheet of DSP, that is totally fine. That's up to you. But that's what I chose for my card. And let's get the background cut for this. So I'm going to cut, let's see, let's cut a 4-inch wide piece. Just see on the back what this is. Oh, this is a floral. Okay, 4-inch wide piece like this. And I'm just going to take this piece and put it through the cut and emboss machine as is. All right, so let's bring in the cut and emboss machine. And we're going to cut our let me find that die. Of course, I just put it down. I showed it to you. I put it down. Oh, here it is on the right. Okay. And let's cut this piece out. So I'm just trying to decide, do I want the yellow at the top or do I want the yellow at the bottom? What do you think? Hard to say. I think I'm going to put it at the top. Let's put it at the top. All right. So I'm going to pull this back and put the plate on top. And we'll run that through. Okay. And now I have an oval section that I'm going to also die cut. And the flowers just fit within this arch, which is great. And I noticed in this one that I feel like I want this to be a little bit lower, but there's not a lot of room to work with because of the size of my sheet that I cut out. But let me just see, this goes right to the edge, right? Yes, it does. Okay, so we'll just put it right to the edge here. There's not really much room to play with at all. And I want to make sure that's centered too. I just realized it's a little too far over. I'm going to cut off that little pink flower on the other side. Okay, let's go with that. Oops. Okay, let's run that through. Okay, and the last thing here is the flowers. Okay, so you can see where I cut the first one, and I chose not to put this tall stalk here because I wanted to center my daisies, or whatever, these are the black-eyed Susans here. And I was hoping that I would be able to just be able to get this middle section without cutting off my flower on the left, but it doesn't look that way. I think I'm gonna have to cut a little bit into it, but that's okay because I like the pink flower there. So I'm going to position this one a little bit lower on the DSP because I want the flower to reach a little bit higher. Okay. See, how did that go? Good morning, Tara. I think I missed saying good morning to you when you joined. Okay, this didn't cut quite through because I saw that just before I started winding it through, I saw that the edge of my plate was just off the bottom plate. So I have to run this through again because it didn't cut this edge. And I'm lining, everything's still lined up in the holes, so I'm just going to leave it that way. Okay, that should do it properly. That's reality crafting for you. If you're doing something like live, something's going to go wrong. All right, so there's my other piece. That's 3 of them, and I think we're ready. Let me just get this out of the way, and we'll work on assembly, because that's really mostly what this card is about. Cutting the arched pieces, and then assembly, and then decorating it. Okay, so what this is that we've got pieces of the arches, the arch die cuts, and then they're joined by rectangular pieces in the back, okay? And I've covered up those rectangular join pieces with additional die cuts, so then it's all nice and neat and you don't see those joins. Okay, so what I need for those pieces are 2 by 3 inch pieces with a score down the middle. So let's cut that first. And I'm just going to double check my measurement here. This is a 3-inch wide piece here. Yes, so I'm going to cut 2 inches, 2 of them. And we're going to score it down the middle at 1 inch. And I'm just going to fold those. Oh yeah, you could probably try this with hexagons. I'm not sure how that would work. I don't have the hexagon dies, but that's an interesting idea, Tara. All right, so let's assemble. Okay, so let's bring in the arch pieces. So here's my cardstock. And we're just going to take all our die cut DSP and we're going to add it on top. So we're just layering it on. And I still I've been using glue a lot so that it gives me a chance to adjust the position if I don't put it down quite right. Okay. So, like I said, for the outside, for the old olive, I used the largest die, and then for the DSP that I'm putting down now is the second largest. Okay. So here where we are in Ottawa, it has been gorgeous fall weather for the past week. I cannot complain. It's been beautiful during the day, nice and sunny, very little wind, and it's been great walking weather. I've been trying to get out there and for walks in the evening. I don't know how much longer we'll get to enjoy this, but I'm going to try to enjoy it as much as possible. There's the second one. And I heard that there's still outdoor swimming available at one of the pools nearby, which is amazing. Normally, most of the outdoor pools here close close by Labor Day or even the week before sometimes, because the lifeguards are all students and they go back to school, so they have nobody to lifeguard for them. But I did hear one pool is still open nearby, which is amazing in Ontario. And when I say pool, I mean an outdoor pool. All right, so there's the three pieces like that. Okay, so now we are going to join them. Okay, so this one is going to bend backwards. So I think I'm going to position the fold like this. And I'm going to add Stampin' Seal. You can use Stampin' Seal or you can use tear and tape. Doesn't matter. And you're going to attach these right to the edge of the fold, but not over the fold line. Okay, so I'm just lining this up next to my score line, right up against it, but not over it. Okay, and I do the same for this other side. Oops. Yeah, I can imagine like after a run you're all hot, that, you know, it would be nice to be, it would be refreshing to be in a pool, and for me, I actually need it to be much, much hotter to jump in the pool. I'm a wuss. I need a warm pool, but I guess it depends how warm you keep your pool too. But the outdoor city pools are, I think some of them might have heaters, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's join up this side first. And again, I'm trying to line it up against the score line, but not over it. Same with this. Okay, so now this shuts like this. So pretty easy, right? And then you see how this, you know, these join pieces show in the back. All you do is you take your other die cuts and you cover them up. So that's all I'm going to do next. What about you guys? Do you need a warm pool to jump into, or are you okay with cold water? I think, you know, on a hot day, a really, really hot day, I could possibly bring myself to jump into a colder pool, but on most days, I need it to be like, I don't know, what is it, like 70s, at least 70s. I know some people heat their pool to the 80-degree range, and that's like much nicer for getting into when you just want to relax. But if you're going to swim lengths, I do agree that it needs to be a little bit cooler. All right, that's one. Oh. Yeah, see, that is reality crafting. I just covered it with the, okay, that's supposed to be my white, because that's where I'm going to leave room for writing. And I almost covered it with the green because I was too busy talking and not paying attention. I find as I get older, multitasking is becoming more of a challenge. Okay, so here's the white on top. Oh yeah, jumping in after a sauna is definitely harder because your body's so warm, right? It's just really hard. But that's the thing with like the places like Nordique and the spas where they offer the hot and cold pools. You're supposed to jump in after you're all warm, and I've done it, and it isn't. It's very hard for me, but I have to say it was really. It feels really good after you come out and you sit there and you warm up, and it's invigorating. I don't love doing it, but I do like how it feels afterwards. And at a lake, I am the one who's like inching their way in, and this always invites splashing by my kids. My daughter is fearless. She just jumps right in. Doesn't matter how cold it is. Like she can tolerate pretty cold water. All right, now we've got this in the right, oops, it's moved a little bit. Let's put that back into place. All right, so that was pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. It's a very impressive fold, and it just looks, oh, that did not stick. That's so weird. I'm gonna need a little bit more glue. Okay, let's put a little bit more glue on this. I am running out of glue in this bottle, so let's be a little bit more generous, and let's try and get that to stay. There we go. So like I said, it's a impressive looking card, right? Doesn't it look so cool? And it's one of those lens that will stand up on its own, which is an important criteria for some people, the recipients who like being able to put their cards out for display. All right, so let's do a little bit of stamping. I'll adhere that last fussy cut piece afterwards. And I'm going to stamp this. Actually, I should have stamped it before I glued it down, but let's do it now. I'm going to use my Stamparatus because the letters in the sentiments for this set are a little bit skinnier. So I do find that I like to stamp it twice to give it a little bit more definition. So I put The Best Is Yet to Come. I tried to find a sentiment that was a bit longer and skinnier, but I apparently don't have any that fit there. I tried a couple and they were kind of running into the flowers on the side, so I chose to use a smaller sentiment from the set that comes with this that goes with this bundle. And I think it looks fine. Like, it's just kind of like a centerpiece on its own, right? Let's see, I think I put it up a little bit higher. Okay, I'll put my magnets down. And I'm going to check on my grid once I've done it. I'm just going to use the grid on the back, and I'm going to check that my letters actually line up straight, and it actually looks pretty good. I don't think I need to adjust it at all. All right, great. Let's see. Let's ink this up. And I am using Starry Sky for this sentiment. Oh, I just saw this move because my dies were in the way. Okay, let's straighten that out again. Okay. And I am off the screen. There we go. So you see how that's a little bit light. I am going to ink that up again. Bring this down so it lies flat. Okay. And I'm not pressing too hard because the cling rubber tends to spread a little bit more than the photopolymer, and it will make it fuzzy looking if I press too hard. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to clean that stamp off, and then we'll move on to stamping something else. And I just need a scrap of white. I just used a scrap of white to stamp Celebrate You. Let me find a scrap. Should have done that beforehand. Oh, here. I have a leftover piece here of white that I took. Let's bring this back in. All right, confess. I want to hear how many of you have this paper stashed away and have this, you know, these particular DSP patterns still uncut. Because until today, I still had that one sheet of pattern uncut in my stash. Okay, so this one. I'm just going to check. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to die cut this actually. Okay. And Starry Sky again. Oh, hi, Marilyn. Thanks for joining. I knew that there were people hoarding this DSP. It is so gorgeous. but time to use it. And this is a great way to showcase that DSP. I think it's my stamp, that little center of the T. Just, oh, there we go. It's almost there. I don't want to press too hard, because otherwise, see, it gets kind of fat. I'm going to try the other side just to see how that looks, if I can get it to stamp properly. Oh, you have an unopened package, Tara. Wow. Yeah, the oval floral frames are just gorgeous, and you know, I didn't always know what to do with them to best showcase it. What do you think? All right, I don't know which side's better, this one or this one. Do you feel like you're at the optometrist, this side or this one? This one or this one? I think I'll use this side. Okay. I know, it's so hard to cut up this beautiful paper, but you can't leave it there forever. You have to use it. Okay, I have to bring back the cut and emboss machine, and I need the right dies for this. So this is the Stylish Shapes dies, and I use the little guy in the corner here. So like I said, this is a great way to showcase your DSP. So I'm thinking about what other DSP I can use this layout for. Maybe the zinnias. That's what I'm thinking. You guys got any ideas? Sorry, I should have held the stamped pieces up to the camera a little bit closer so you could see the difference. Okay, there we go. It fits perfectly. Hi Demetria, thank you for joining. I'm glad that you're inspired to use this paper, because it's just such a waste to, not a waste, it's like sad that it just doesn't get admired by sitting in our cupboards and on our shelves, and the only people who can admire it is us, right? Oh yeah. Yes, that's right. It can tell a story because it has multiple panels. Oh, I wonder how this would work with, what is it called? The copy set, the one with Love You More Than, something like that. But I don't have a DSP for that, so but the sentiments do tell a story. So all I do for the this little strip of ribbon behind here, I'm just going to measure it out beforehand, and I'm just going to cut that. I'm just going to put a strip of whoops, tear and tape on the back to hold it. Right in the middle. Okay, and I'm just rubbing it down to make sure that the adhesive is stuck to the paper before I try to rip off the backing. So if you find that you're having trouble ripping off the backing, that you just make sure that the adhesive is stuck straight down to the paper firmly. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up. And the good thing about using the tear and tape is that, or any kind of stamp and seal, is that you can adjust after you've placed it if you need to. So I'm just making sure this looks straight and that it is centered. There we go. I know it's a little bit long on one side, but that's fine. I'm gonna I'll cut it. There we go. All right, so all I did was raise it up on dimensionals after. Let's grab some dimensionals. Oh yes, the Love Cats. That's a great one too. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like other, I know that there's other DSPs that have that pattern that comes halfway up the sheet on one side and then does the same on the opposite side. Again, a great way to show a scene and use that piece. Okay, so let's put this here. And I just decorated with that tiny little brass butterfly. Let me just see if I can find that. I love those little brass embellishments. They're like so cute. Oh, I do have dragonflies. I wonder if that would work too. I feel like I want the butterfly. I want the little tiny butterfly because they don't have as much room on this scene. So let's put the butterfly instead. Oh, Sandra, I just saw your comment about making coordinating DSP. Yeah, I haven't had huge success in doing those. I've seen those with the one sheet wonders where you make a pattern, like a plus sign pattern with your stamps, and I've seen some really great cards with that. I tried it once, although, you know, one time is really not enough, but I did not have success that first time. I should try it again. Okay, so let's put this little guy, I don't know, up here. And maybe this one needs a second one. I'll put a bigger one here. Let's see. We're down here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so that is a really simple card. I mean, really, the biggest part was, oh, sorry, I haven't attached my fussy cut piece. That was the hardest piece. But, I mean, if you choose something else to go there, that is totally fine, too. You could also stamp this if you wanted to with the images from this set. I just chose to fussy cut. And I actually, because it was so tall, I actually decided to trim it right there. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to shorten it to that join right here. I'm saving the other section for another location. Like maybe I'll put it on the back or something here. We'll see. But this goes right here. So let's get my silicone sheet out, and I'm just going to put some dots of glue. But yeah, the assembly is really, you know, the biggest part. Cutting out like the arches, like pretty easy, you know, like you just cut out 5 of the cardstock and 1 white for writing your greeting on, and then 2 little pieces to join it all together, and it looks so good. So tell me, who has started making Christmas cards? I have that on my list next, and I want to get started. It's I don't even want to say October. I feel like we already got rushed into September. and we're already thinking about Christmas and all that. But yeah, it is that time of year. So who is thinking about Christmas cards? Who's made Christmas cards? Because I haven't done one yet. That's next on my list. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think I need a little bit more glue underneath this purple flower here. Oh, Tara, I used to have some left from last year. Amazing. And of course, I never get phone calls unless I am live. Wouldn't that be? It's always the way. Like, I'm telling you, I hardly ever get phone calls on my phone. And I would say the majority of the time, it happens when I'm doing a live. And I forgot to mute it, of course. Okay, so that is the card today. Pretty easy. What do you think? So beautiful. And this is a way you can use up this arch and, like, you know, it's not the arch, the ovals, and showcase it, right? Such a beautiful way to showcase it. So I hope that inspires you to try this and make this fun folds. And until then, I will see you next week, and have a great one. Enjoy the weather, the fall weather, and I'll see you next week. Bye.